Good afternoon. How is everyone? All right, we're live now. I think. So Facebook has this new thing. So if you can let me know in a comment if you can hear me, you can see me, this is working. So I know I'm not talking into space. That would be amazing. All right, Tammy, so you can hear. Awesome. Let's see, who told me they were going to practice with me today? Kathleen said, oh, good day, Chris and Perry. It's working. Awesome. I've been in technology, I don't know what, for the last week. So I don't trust my technology skills. So Kathleen said she was taking class. Are you there? You out there? Kathleen and her husband, I believe. All right, so I posted the playlist on my Facebook page. So if you want music, you can feel free to download that from Spotify and you can start it at any time. Yes, Perry, yes, but I was trying to be not use those words on Facebook. So they don't ban us. But yes, that's what I was thinking, and I was trying to come up with another word, and it just wasn't working. So I have my coffee. We're good. All is right in the world. We're here. It's 5:45 class. Friday Eve. So let's start lying down. And let's start with the soles of the feet together and the knees out wide in Supta Konasana. I love that word. I don't know very many Sanskrit words, but I do love that one. It's fun to say. It kind of rolls off the tongue. So in this pose, the soles of the feet are together and the knees are just splayed out wide. This is really actually, it's a gentle hip opener. All right, so just kind of settle in here. Let your back sink into the mat. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears. Unhinge your jaw. Soften the space between your eyes. Take a full belly breath in and a long breath out. Nice, do that again. Take a full belly breath in, fill up with breath. And then a long, slow exhale out. And I'm envisioning you all in the studio in the various spaces that you like to practice, right? And so wherever you are in your home, right, just settle into this space, right? This moment, this breath. All right, and as you settle in, can you really focus in on the breath and the sensation in your body and sort of let the peripherals, vision, the noise, the commotion, the day, the week, the month, the year, whatever it is, can you let that just kind of disappear so that your focus becomes the breath, the internal, the breath, the sound, sensation. Right, and because your body, or your mind, I should say, is wired to wander, when it starts to go to all of those places that are outside of breath, sensation, sound, can you come back? Hi, Teresa. And start to bring your attention to your breath so that you make it a little bit more audible. Like, make it so that I can hear it. Right, and as you breathe more deeply, more audibly, hug the knees. Oh, you're going to take your hands to the outside edges of your knees and close them up like a book. Wrap your arms around your shins, give yourself a hug, and you rock side to side. And then the next time you come to center, you're going to take a breath in, and then you're going to drop your knees over to the right. Shoulder blades stay on the mat. I feel like that I move less during the day. Like I sit in my workspace more. And so I feel like I need more stretching and twisting and moving. Take a breath in, you come back to center. On the exhale, you're going to drop the knees over to the left. You're going to take a breath in. You're going to come back to center. You're going to take the right knee and you're going to hug it into your chest, and that left leg is going to go out long onto the mat. You're going to take the left hand, take it to the outside of the right knee and cross it over your body. So Brene Brown, I'm a big fan of Brene Brown's. Maybe you know her. I'd like to be her friend. She says that you can have courage and you can have comfort, but you can't have both. And that seems to be resonating with me lately. Take a breath in, uncross the right knee, right leg goes out long, left knee comes in, cross it over the body. Actually, on Saturday, when the day of my technology troubles began, I woke up with that quote on my mind, and it's been with me all week. So universe is trying to tell me something. Take a breath in, come back to center, hug both knees in, rock front to back, and come up to seated at the front of your mat. Right, she also says that courage is the work and the language of the heart. And to be courageous, we have to tune in to what's going on in our heart. Take a breath in, arms are going to reach up overhead. Exhale, hands come to heart center, and just let them pause, right? Maybe you close your eyes, you feel the breath. Your shoulders fall away from your ears. Take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale, the arms are going to reach up overhead. Exhale, that left hand's going to come forward and the right hand's going to come back. You're going to twist from the waist, ground down into both sit bones. Let the shoulders soften, heart opens. Take a breath in, you come back to center. Exhale, that right hand comes forward, left hand comes back. Beautiful. Do that one more time. Inhale, you come back to center. Exhale, the left hand comes forward and the right hand comes back. You know, I think that quote is particularly poignant right now, right? That to be courageous and to do what's for the greater good, we have to give up some comforts. Take a breath in, you come back to center. Exhale, that right hand comes forward and the left hand comes back. We have to give up our social events with our friends. We have to give up going when we want to go, right? Some of these creature comforts that we have to give up, so it seems, but at the same time, we tune into that language of the heart, right? We know, we learn what our story is. Take a breath in, you come back to center, arms reach up overhead, exhale, hands come to heart center, pause one more time. Take a full breath in and a long breath out. Exhale, you're going to plant your hands in and you're going to make your way back to downward facing dog. Right? And learning the story of our heart is courageous work. It's courageous work to show up here in your home on your mat and do this work. Right? So in downward facing dog, your hands are pressing down into the mat. The fingers are spread. The hips are lifting up towards the ceiling. Maybe there's a slight bend in your knees. You're going to take a breath in and you're going to come up to the ball of the right foot while the left heel sinks down to the mat. You're going to take a breath in. Exhale, you're going to switch. So you come up to the ball of the left foot, right heel sinks down. Right, you got it. You start pedaling out your feet. Take a breath in. Both heels come up to the balls of your feet. And then on the exhale, those heels sink down towards the mat. Beautiful. You take a breath in, and on the exhale, you're going to glide forward to high plank. Right, so here in high plank, right, broaden across the chest, open up the heart. You can still do that in this pose. Really press down into the hands. Thigh bones are lifting up towards the ceiling. Beautiful. You take a breath in, exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in, you glide forward to high plank. You're going to always drop the knees down to the mat. I can't see what you're doing, right? And even if I could, I wouldn't care. This is your practice. This being courageous is doing what your heart tells you to do, right? It's moving from that space. Take a breath in, exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in, you glide forward to high plank. This time on the exhale, you're going to lower all the way down to the mat. So body hits the mat all at the same time. Take a breath in and a breath out. You're going to take your fingertips off to the sides of the mat. So whether you have hardwoods or carpet, whatever they are, they're going to come off the mat. You're going to come up to your fingertips like Spider-Man hands, right? You're going to take a breath in and you're going to lift the heart, press down into the fingertips, broaden across the shoulders. Exhale, you lower. I need to tell my family to pipe down. They're a little loud. Take a breath in, you lift the heart to cobra. Exhale, you lower down. One more time. Inhale, the heart lifts, press down into the fingertips. You use the core. Exhale, you lower. This time the hands come back to the mat. Elbows are hugging into the chest, and you're going to push yourself back to downward facing dog. Beautiful. From downward facing dog, you're going to take a breath in and a breath out. You're going to look forward and you're going to walk your feet to your hands. Halfway lift on an inhale. So reach your hands behind your back. The spine is long. Roll your shoulders on your back. Crown of the head's reaching towards the front of the room. You got it. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. Exhale, you fold. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you're going to plant your hands to back to plank. Pause. Take a full breath in. Exhale, you lower down to the mat. The heart lifts to cobra, so you can take your hands off the mat to lift, or you can keep them on the mat by your sides. But whichever one you choose, feel the expansion across the heart. Exhale, you lower. And make your way back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, you take a breath in and a breath out. Look forward, walk, step, or jump your feet to your hands. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Ground down and rise to standing on the breath in. Exhale, you fold. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you plant your hands. You step back to plank. You pause. You take a full breath in. Exhale, you lower down. Heart lifts to cobra on an inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Look forward, feet to the hands. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. Exhale, you fold. Flat back on an inhale. Exhale, you plant your hands. You step back to plank. You pause. You take a full breath in. Exhale, lower down. Heart lifts to cobra on the inhale. And exhale, you make your way back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, you take a breath in and a breath out. You're going to walk your hands back to your feet so you land at the back of your mat. You're going to take your feet wide and come in to ragdoll. So you're going to grab opposite elbows. Let the head and neck relax. Let go. Listen to the voice of your heart. Is it telling you to seek comfort in your practice, or is it telling you to be courageous? They're both perfectly fine choices as long as you're honoring what's true in this moment. Take a breath in and a breath out. Fingertips are going to come down to the mat. You're going to toe heel your feet back to hip distance. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. Exhale, you're going to bend the knees, sit the hips, chair. Right, so in chair pose, the knees are stacked over the ankles, the weight's in the backside of your body. Like, trust that. Trust it the way that you trust your heart. Right, so the arms can be reaching up overhead or they can be at heart center. Take a breath in. You're going to lean over the thighs and take the outside, the left elbow to the outside of the right knee, twist. Take a breath in and a breath out. Exhale, you're going to fold forward, fingertips come down to the mat. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. Exhale, chair. And you tune in and you notice, is there a way that you can find comfort here? Find some ease, find some softness. Take a breath in, hands come to heart center. Lean forward over the thighs, right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Really press the palms together. It's going to help roll that top shoulder open, broaden across the chest, open the heart. Take a breath in and a breath out. Exhale, you fold forward. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. You're going to walk back out to plank and pause. So you're in plank. Your shoulders are stacked over the wrists. Heels are over the balls of the feet. Are you breathing? Take a breath in. You're going to lift the right leg. You're just going to lift the toes up a little bit. Just like hover them. You got it. Take a breath in. Exhale, you lower. And then your left leg's going to lift to a hover. Pull the belly button into the core. Exhale, the toes touch down. Take a breath in. Exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. Heart lifts to cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, take a breath in and a breath out. Look forward, feet to the hands. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. Exhale, chair. Take a breath in, and on the exhale, the hands come to heart center. You're going to ground down into the left foot. The right knee is going to lift up. You're going to stretch it back, and you're going to land in a low lunge. So the left knee is stacked over the left ankle. You're on the ball of the right foot. The right thigh bone is reaching up towards the ceiling. Your hands are framing your foot. Spine is long. The crown of the head's pointing towards the front of the room. Can you open your heart and breathe? Beautiful. Take a breath in and a breath out. Right foot's going to step up to meet the left. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. You know what's coming up, right? Inhale, you rise to standing. Exhale, chair. You're going to stay here for a breath, and then you're going to ground down into the right foot. You're going to lift the left foot up, and then you're going to stretch it to the back of the mat. You're in a low lunge. Right, so watch that right knee that it doesn't want to cave in. Can you keep it energetically pushing out towards the right pinky toes? Beautiful. Take a breath in and a breath out. Left foot steps up to meet the right. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. Grab the right wrist with the left hand, and on an inhale, you stretch up towards the ceiling, and on the exhale, you lean over. to the left. Watch that right shoulder, that it doesn't cover up the heart, right? To tell the story of our heart, to be courageous. It has to be open. Take a breath in, you come back to center, you switch hands, you ground down on the inhale, on the exhale, you lean towards the right. Take a breath in and a breath out. Come back to center, arms reach up, you look up. Exhale, you fold forward. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you plant your hands, you step back to plank and you pause. You take a breath in. Exhale, you lower down. Heart lifts on an inhale. Exhale, you make your way back to downward facing dog. You're going to lift the right leg in the air behind you on an inhale. Exhale, you're going to step it forward in between your hands, low lunge. Right? You've been here before, you just got into it in a different way. You're going to take a breath in. That left hand's going to stay down. The right hand's going to come up. Open up the heart. As you inhale, the spine lengthens. On the exhale, you open up a little bit more. Take a breath in. Right hand comes down to the mat. Ground down into your feet. Inhale, you rise to standing high crescent lunge. Arms are reaching up overhead in high crescent lunge. You take a breath in here and the left hand comes forward, the right hand comes back, right? Not a new movement with the arms, new movement with the leg. Let the shoulders fall away from the ears. You got it. Take a breath in. That left hand comes down to the mat. You're in a low lunge twist. Are you breathing? Take a breath in. Right hand comes down to the mat. You step back to plank and move through vinyasa. Right, so you can move through vinyasa or you can skip it all together and just meet us up in downward facing dog. So we're in down dog. And you pause and you check in. Conversation in your head, conversation in your body. Take a breath in. The left leg's going to lift in the air behind you. On the exhale, you're going to step it forward in between your hands, low lunge. Right, keep that left knee stacked over the left ankle. Low lunge twist. The right hand's going to stay down. The left hand's going to come up. Take a breath in. The left hand comes down. Ground down into your feet. And on the inhale, you rise to high crescent lunge. Open up across the heart. Arms reach up overhead. Right hand comes forward. Left hand comes back. Let the shoulders drop. Uncrinkle the space between your eyebrows. You know that one. You know, you crinkle when you focus. You got it. Take a breath in. Right hand comes down. Low lunge twist. Been here before. Trust the body the way that you trust your heart. Find comfort in this pose. Take a breath in. Left hand comes down. You step back to plank. You pause. You take a breath in. Exhale, you lower down, and you make your way back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, take a full breath in and a long breath out. On your inhale, the right leg's going to lift to the sky. Exhale, you step it forward in between the hands. Left hand stays down, low lunge twist. Take a breath in and a breath out. Right hand comes down, and on the inhale, you rise to high crescent lunge. On the exhale, left hand comes forward, right hand comes back. You got it. You take a breath in, low lunge twist, that left hand comes down. Right, so here we're moving into side plank. So you can stay here, right, in the low lunge twist. You can drop the left knee and lift the right leg for side plank. Or you can roll to the outside edge of the left foot and stack the right foot on top. Open up, right? Be courageous in your choice. Choose based on what your heart and your body tell you to do, right? It's practice listening to that voice. It's practice to tell the story of our heart. Right, so if you're in side plank and you're in full expression, you can lift that top leg, but lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Press down into the left hand wherever you are. You're going to make your way back to a low lunge. So the right foot is in between your hands, the right knee stacked over the right ankle. All right, so here we go. From here, you're going to spin the left foot down. You're going to end up in Warrior Two facing the left. So the right knee's towards the front of the mat. The left foot's facing the long side of the left mat. The arms are out long. You got it. You breathe. You settle in here. First time here, big pose, big powerful pose. You're a warrior, right? Right. And the funny thing about being courageous is telling that story oftentimes brings comfort to others and inspires them to tell the story of their heart and be courageous. You're going to flip the front palm. You're going to stretch back, straighten the front leg. Peaceful warrior. Exhale, you're going to rebend the knee back to Warrior Two. Inhale, arm lifts, leg straightens. Exhale, you rebend the knee. One more time. Arm lifts, you reach back. This time you're going to cartwheel your hands to the mat and move through vinyasa. From downward facing dog, you're going to take a breath in, and that left leg's going to lift to the sky. On the exhale, that left foot's going to land in between the hands. Low lunge twist, right hand stays down, that left hand comes up. Can you feel this lift on the side body? Like I'm pulling your hand. Beautiful. You take a breath in, left hand comes down. Inhale, you rise to high crescent lunge. Right, so keep bending into that left knee. Going to take a breath in. Right hand's going to come forward, left hand's going to come back. Hips are going to stay square to the front of the room, and then you're going to twist from the waist. You got it. Take a breath in. Right hand comes down, low lunge twist. Take a breath in and a breath out. You can stay here in the low lunge twist. You can drop the back knee to come into supported side plank, or you can roll to the outside edge of the right foot, stack the left foot on top, and come into side plank. And really press down into that right hand. Spread the fingers. Lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Open up across the heart. Whatever pose you're in, can you broaden? Can you expand? Right? I truly believe that this experiment that we're in, this time, this reality we have, is going to increase our capacity to love and to be courageous and to tell our story. Our heart finally can show up in the studio. Beautiful. Take a breath in. You're going to come back to low lunge so that left foot is in between the hands, however you need to get there, right? Some days it's graceful and some days you just got to get there. Beautiful. You're going to take a breath in. You're going to spin the right foot down and you're going to walk your hands around and come up to warrior two, facing the right side of the room. All right, so you're bending into that left knee. Don't let it cave in. The outside edge of that back foot is sealed against the mat. Yeah, broaden across the chest. Soften the space between your shoulders. Maybe you close your eyes. And you breathe. And you notice. And you pause. You're going to flip the front palm. You're going to straighten the back leg. Reach back. Reverse to warrior. Exhale, you're going to re-bend the knee. Come into warrior two. You got it. Inhale. Straighten the front leg. Arm reaches up. Exhale, warrior two. Take a breath in. Straighten the front leg. This time on the exhale, you're going to cartwheel your hands to the mat and move through vinyasa. And you make your way back to downward facing dog. You take a breath in and a breath out. You're going to look forward, walk your feet to your hands. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. You're going to bend the knees, sit your hips back. You're going to lift your upper body chair. Right, in chair, your hands can stay at heart center. You can come up to your balls of your feet. If you want to challenge yourself, you can close your eyes. You're going to take a breath in and a breath out. You're going to ground down into that left foot. The right foot's going to lift up behind you. You're going to step back to a low lunge. You're going to take a breath in. Arms are going to reach up overhead. You're in high crescent lunge. Exhale, you're going to open up warrior two so the toes of the left foot are pointing towards the front of the mat. The left heel's lined up with the arch of the right foot. When you're in warrior two, you're going to flip the front palm. You're going to reach back. You're going to straighten the front leg. You're going to shift the hips back and come into triangle. All right, so the left hand can come down to the mat. It can come to a block or a soup can, or whatever props you may have conjured up, right, in this home practice. Right hand's lifting up. Can you lift up through the left side body? Open up. You're going to take a breath in and a breath out. You're going to re-bend the front knee, come back to warrior two. You're going to flip the front palm, reach back, peaceful warrior. You're going to cartwheel your hands to the mat and you're going to pause in a low lunge. Right foot's going to step up to meet the left. Feet go wide to the edges of the mat. You're going to reach behind your back, clasp your hands. I want your palms to touch, so if you have to bend your elbows to do that, Hands can stay resting on the back, or you can lift them up. Rinse the shoulders, broaden across the chest. Tap into the heart space. Let the head and neck release. Unclasp your hands. Toe heel your feet back to hip distance. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Bend the knees, sit the hips, lift the upper body on the inhale, chair. Did you think I would forget the other side? Come on, you guys know me better than that. You got it. You're going to take a breath in. You're going to ground down into the right foot. You're going to lift the left foot up. Stretch it back, low lunge. You got it. You're going to ground down. You're going to rise on the inhale, high crescent lunge. Exhale, you're going to open it up, warrior two. Bend into that right knee. All right, imagine setting a nice cold summer beverage on that thigh, like it's parallel. It's gonna feel so good when summer comes, right? You got it. You're gonna flip the front palm. You're gonna reach back, peaceful warrior. Straighten that front leg. You're gonna shift the hips back. You're gonna stretch the right fingertips forward, 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 and until you can't go forward anymore. And then you're going to drop into triangle. Left hand reaches up to the sky. All right, you notice here this side may feel a little bit differently. Maybe you were courageous on one side and this side you need comfort, right? That's okay. You breathe. I know you're here. I haven't forgotten about you. You're going to re-bend the front knee, come back to warrior two. You're going to flip the front palm. You're going to reach back, peaceful warrior. You're going to cartwheel your hands to the mat. You're going to frame the right foot. You're in a low lunge. Right? Left foot's going to step up to meet the right. Take your feet wide. You're going to clasp your hands again, but you're going to do it the way that it feels funky. So I always have to think about that. Clasp your hands, bend your elbows. Come into a forward fold. And you notice here, what's alive? What is your heart telling you? Does it crave comfort or does it crave being courageous? Unclasp your hands, toe heel your feet back to hip distance. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. Exhale, you fold. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Step back to plank and pause. Take a breath in. Exhale, you're going to lower halfway down. Inhale, you're going to push back up. Exhale, you're going to lower halfway down. Inhale, you push back up. Exhale, you lower. Inhale, you push back up. Exhale, you lower. Inhale, you push back up. Exhale, you lower all the way down to the mat. Heart lifts to cobra on your breath in, and exhale, you make your way back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, you take your knees wide, come into child's pose. Hips sit back towards the heels, belly rests between the thighs. Right. Fingertips are reaching forward. Right, and you pause in this moment. Maybe you come back to your breath. Maybe you come back to sensation. Maybe you come back to sound. But you notice. You're going to take a breath in and you're going to walk both hands off of the mat towards the right. And you're going to shift the left hip back towards the left heel. Feel the stretch on the side body. Part of my technology issues this week was being able to remote into the University of Rochester's network from my computer because the way I was doing it was too slow. Very long story. But I almost had like a temper tantrum because I couldn't remote in, and I wanted to be able to see the picture that I have on my desktop, right? Because that brings me comfort, right? It made it feel like work even though I was home. You're going to take a breath in and you come back to center. And then on the exhale, you're going to walk your hands off of the mat over to the left. And I kind of laughed at myself. And the picture that is on my desk is the football team, and they're all in this circle on the baseball field, and they're all lying down in shavasana, and I'm walking around, and it's just one of my favorite pictures, and it brings me such joy. And I was like, I need that here to feel comfort, right? I don't want to be courageous, right? That picture is a reminder, right, of doing the work of my heart. Take a breath in, walk your hands back to center. You're going to tuck your toes, lift your hips, and come back to downward facing dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale, you look forward, feet to the hands. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. Exhale, you fold. You're going to ground down into the left foot. The right knee is going to lift as you rise to standing. You're going to cross the right ankle over the left thigh and make the number 4. You're going to bend the left knee, shift the hips back to standing pigeon. Right, so you can stay there. Your hands can come to stay at heart center. They can reach overhead. Or you can bring your hands down. Parry, if you want to work on the arm balance, you go ahead, you fly. Hands come down to the mat. You're going to straighten the left leg on an inhale. The right foot's going to come off the left thigh and you're going to come into tree. So the right foot is going to be snuggled into the inside of the left calf or the left thigh, or the toes can be down on the mat. Arms can reach up overhead. They can be at heart center. You can close your eyes. And you breathe and you notice. Right, and if you fall, you come back in. Take a breath in and a breath out. You're going to stay grounding into that left foot. The right foot's going to come off. It's going to stay lifted. You're going to stretch it back and land in warrior two. So the left knee is at the front of the mat, facing the right side of the mat. You're going to flip the left palm, reach back, reverse your warrior. You're going to cartwheel your hands to the mat and move through vinyasa. Beautiful. From downward facing dog, you take a breath in, walk, step, or jump your feet to your hands. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Ground down into the right foot. Left foot lifts up as you come to standing. You're going to cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Bend the knees, sit the hips back into standing pigeon. Really flex that left foot so your hands can stay at heart center. You can stay here. You can bring your hands down to the mat. Work on the arm balance. You can take the arm balance. You breathe, opening up across the heart. Take a breath in and a breath out. You're going to straighten the right leg. Left foot is going to come off of the right, and then you're going to step it back into warrior two, facing the left side of the mat. Right knees bending towards the front of the room. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears. Unhinge your jaw. Flip the front palm. Reach back. Reverse your warrior. And cartwheel your hands to the mat and move through vinyasa. And when you get to downward facing dog, you're going to take a full belly breath in and a long breath out. Yeah, do that again. Take a full breath in, sigh it out through the mouth. And then you're going to walk your feet through your hands, come down to your back. You're going to hug your knees into your chest, rock side to side. You're going to take your feet wide to the edges of the mat. So the soles of your feet are on the mat, and you're going to drop your knees over towards the right. So you can take the right foot and you can put it on top of the left thigh for a little bit more sensation. Shoulder blades are on the mat. And you breathe and you notice. Right? And if your mind starts to wander, can you just come back, right? I know for me, I think I've said this a million times in my own practice, when I start to wind down, my mind starts to get active. You take a breath in, you come back to center, and then the knees are going to drop over to the left. The left foot can come on top of the right thigh. Notice what's alive in this moment. What's present. Take a breath in, come back to center. You hug your knees into your chest, reach in between your thighs, grab the outside edges of your feet and come into happy baby. So the spine is long on the mat, the tailbone's reaching towards the front of the mat. You're pulling your knees straight down towards your armpit. Feet are flexed, soles of the feet are shining up towards the ceiling. Maybe you move around a little bit. You're going to release the grip on your feet. Legs are going to go straight up in the air. Hands by your side, or you can put them underneath your sacrum. And you take a breath in and a breath out. Your right foot's going to come down to the mat, and then your left foot's going to come down. So this class has 10, 15-minute meditation. We're going to do a bit of an extended Shavasana. I don't think there's any complaints about that. If there are, feel free to leave them in the comments. But I've never known anyone to turn down an extended Shavasana. All right, so arms are by your side, legs are out long. Let your body sink into the mat. Maybe you take one hand to your heart, one hand to the belly. You take a full breath in and a long breath out. And you let your mind and your body rest. All right, Shavasana is always a little awkward on social media, but I'm not going to forget about you. And I mean, I guess if I did, you're home. So if you fall asleep, you fall asleep. But can you just be here? Can you just rest? And when your mind wanders, can you come back? And where is your mind now? When you find yourself drifting off, come back to the body, come back to the breath, come back to sensation. Notice what your heart is telling you. Where can you find some ease here? Notice how you talk to yourself when you come back. Start to bring your awareness back into your breath. Notice the sensations in your body, the sounds in the room. Maybe you thank yourself for being courageous, or you thank yourself for finding comfort. For showing up to this practice and doing the work of the heart. Maybe you start to bring some movement into your fingers and your toes. Keeping your eyes closed. Roll gently to your right side and pause. And when you're ready, you can help yourself up to seated. Together, take a breath in, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands come to heart center. And pause. Feel the breath, you feel your heartbeat. Together, to take a full breath in and a long breath out. The light and truth in me sees and honors that in each of you. Thank you for showing up, for sharing your heart, for sharing this connection and being part of this community. It brings me great comfort to come on here and spend time with you. Together we say namaste. Have a wonderful night. These will be on the Balance Webster YouTube channel. I'll be teaching Saturday morning. Yeah. See you soon.